Okay, so before I even start the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone that showed love in the last video. I wasn't expecting that much, and I highly thank you guys. I highly appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Encouraged me to make this video, so thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. The people that told me what I should do more forward, people that told me what they disagreed with, what they agreed with last video. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Um, and if you haven't watched last video, I highly recommend you do, just so you know how I'm gonna be formatting this video, how I'm gonna be doing it, and who I worked with in last video, and how the entire thing came about. So this video, as much as I would love for like the entire Persona crew to be in just one game, I decided to just finish out the Persona 5 cast, you know, just so we're not like all over the place. So 'cause I think there's a lot of spin-offs with characters that can be in a fighting game, just so we're not like, if you're just working off the Persona 5 to Royal cast, you're looking at a 14-man roster, right? But if you put all the spin-offs in one game, I think you're looking at a 20 to 25 character roster. So we already did the main party cast in the last video. So this video we're gonna be going over like some other characters. I don't want to tell y'all who's gonna be in the video, just to keep y'all on edge, okay? Um, so yeah, if you haven't played Persona 5 Strikers, if you haven't played Persona 5 Tactica, if you haven't played Persona 5 Royal or the first game, spoiler warning, you are warned. I'm going to be going with those games, but to help you guys that are not trying to get spoiled, I think in the description, I'm just going to like put the timestamp that each like game's going to be in, just so if you're like, for example, if you want to play Strikers, you don't want to get spoiled, you can skip over that part of the video and, just act like it's not there. So yeah, don't want to make the intro too long. I'm not going to explain like the archetypes and stuff because we already explained that last video. There are going to be some new archetypes, but we will explain those when we get there. I feel like this is going to be a long video. I haven't fully edited it yet, so I'm hoping I don't talk that much and I'm not making y'all watch like an hour-long video. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Before we get into the spin-offs and other games, I do want to finish the Royal cast first, and we have to start off with the two twins, Caroline and Justine. Justine, she's a more, strong-minded, disciplined, so she's going to be very slow and strong, more damage output. Caroline, she's the hot-headed one, the eager one, so she's going to be more quick and agile, but, she's going to be lacking that damage output that Justine has. So if you're playing the two twins, you're going to want to have to manage that and know which situations to be in which form and be which twin. It's gonna be very difficult. I thought of this gimmick that they should have. I almost said she should have. It's two twins they should have. It's kind of like Jamie in Street Fighter 6. I can't think of any other character that had this ability. If you drink, in their case, if you read the compendium, let's just say they have 5. You read it 5 times, you get Lavenza form, which Lavenza, she's gonna be a strong win condition, right? She's gonna be like the best out of the two twins. She's gonna be their final form. You don't want the two twins to get into this form if you're the opponent, and if you are playing the twins, you definitely want to get to this form by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, 5 is the max. I don't know if they should just get moves like the more they read it, or if, like they should just read it 5 times and then get Lavenza, or if like they get 2 reads, then they should get stronger. But I don't know, like I'm thinking of like balance here. I don't really know how you'd balance this character. They're already, I don't know how you'd balance this character. But luckily, I don't have to think about it because I'm not making the game. So 1 out of 5, hard to play, very hard to play. You're gonna have to know which moves which twin has, and it's gonna be very difficult if you're playing this character. So as far as archetype, I gave them stance, Lavenza for. I didn't know what to give like them as a character archetype. I really don't know what this archetype is. It's very weird, unique. I like it. Let's move on to the villains, Persona 5 Royal. Before I get into this douchebag on the screen, I did want to clarify, like when I was making the list, of course I can't use the actual like final version of boss battle of the bosses because their hitboxes are all over the place and the character designs are all over the place. So I just wanted to make their moveset not vary on what their skin is, because I was like, well, maybe someone wants to play as like the human version Kamoshida. Maybe someone wants to play as a shadow version of Kamoshida. So why not just have them as skins, right? So you can play as a human Kamoshida and then the shadow Kamoshida, and your moveset not just look weird or out of place. Granted, somebody spiking somebody in the cape and underwear, that does look pretty, but that's beside the point. Okay, so Kamoshida, what's funny is someone in the comments, they were saying how like they were giving me like what they think Kamoshida should play like, and I was like, we literally think of the same thing. But anyways, so Kamoshida, he's gonna be a zoner. I think in the boss battle, like the gold cup, when he drank from it, it gave him his HP back, if I recall correctly. But I don't think he should have like a health regen move. So I think if he drinks out of the cup, it should charge his projectile spike. Volleyball keep out game. He's gonna be a zoner. He's gonna be like zoner to the T. He want to keep you out. He sucks close range. I don't want like all the bosses or evil characters in the game to feel like a boss battle. You know what I mean? Like when you play against this character, you can't it doesn't want to have like a boss feel. So he can bullet, or that's like a full screen, straightforward, quick, or he can lob it. Which bullets have long recovery. He has to put his back into it. But they're gonna be quick, and they're gonna be we'll get more damage than the lobs. Lobs are easy to avoid, but I think the lobs should be great at anti-airing. He can just air you out the air, knock you down, hard knock down, and just start throwing bullet passes full screen. Crazy character design. But he's gonna be 2 out of 5, hard to play. Just because you can't really play straightforward. You're gonna have to mix it up, right? If I see you're just throwing lobs, I'm gonna just charge at you full speed. If I see you just throwing bullet passes, I'm gonna just keep jumping over them. But you can't play the same way against every opponent because they're gonna figure you out. So you're gonna play a little bit differently, case by case, and of course you suck at close range. So Kamoshida, 2 out of 5. Now, if you've seen last video, you can kind of compare him to Futaba. He's gonna play a little differently. So he's gonna be a sub character as well, just like her. He's gonna have a teleport. Now, one thing about me is I hate teleport characters, but we're gonna give him one. He's gonna play around his paintings. He can put one on the floor. He can put one in the sky. You get to play around it. He can shoot from his paintings. He's gonna be weird. He's gonna be a weird character, but he's gonna like defense. He's gonna be a slow character. His movement speed's not gonna be that great. So 2 out of 5, hard to play. So Kaneshiro, he's a zoner slash puppet character. He doesn't necessarily have to worry about controlling Piggytron like in and out. Piggytron doesn't necessarily, he just follows him like through the entire match. And of course, for gameplay reasons, Piggytron, he has to get a little smaller, right? So I'm thinking he's smaller. He kind of just like floats behind Kaneshiro the entire match. Strong projectiles, he's a zoner. Slow movement speed, like he's pretty slow. So 3 out of 5 average difficulty. I've really struggled trying to figure out how Kaneshiro should play. So I'm very interested to see what you guys think, if you guys think differently. Funny enough, I didn't know Mr. Akumura's first name until making this this video. But Mr. Akumura, he's gonna be the puppet character of the game. Unlike Kaneshiro, he's actually gonna have to control his robot. I think Mr. Akumura should have a meter similar to Zato 1 from Guilty Gear Strive, to where if he runs into that meter, he can't control said puppets. In this case, it's his robots. He's also gonna have a big robot for defense, to deflect projectiles or to parry and stuff like that. The small robot's gonna be for offensive moves. And his boss battle was so iconic with the self-destruct. He should have it in his moveset somehow. It should be his ultimate. It should be like a gimmick move. I don't know, but the self-destruct should be there somehow. But that being said, Mr. Akumura is gonna be 1 out of 5. Very hard to play character. So Shido, he's gonna be a fuzzy heavy character. He's also gonna be the snowballer of the game. And for the people that don't understand what I mean snowballer, the way I understand the term is, think of like a MOBA like League of Legends or any other MOBA out there. You start off at 0, you're pretty weak, but as you go to the jungle more, you get kills, you get upgrades, your character gets better progressively throughout the game. That's what a snowballer is. So Shido, he's gonna start off pretty weak in his base form, but the more he hits you and he gets his buffs, he's gonna get pretty strong like overall at the end of the game. So you don't want to get him in that condition. He's also going to have a move similar to Sindel. I'm using a lot of Mortal Kombat references in this video. But he's going to have like a move that can stun you or reset you. He's a politician. So you have a move like, hey, listen to me. and listen to my persuasive words or whatever. Just have you stunned or staying there. I think that'd be a pretty cool move for him to have. Great defense, and he also needs to play safe. Offense isn't really his strong suit. Like, these are for the people that want to play defense, right? This is for the people that want to play defense. Cheetos, you got 3 out of 5 average difficulty. You're seeing this right. We are not done with Shido. This is the second Shido on the game. At first, I was thinking Shido should be an install character, but then I was like, no, buff version of Shido is too iconic. And if almost every fighting game has a story mode, and you can't, have Shido in the game and not have him transform into buff Shido in a boss battle in the story mode. You can't. It's too iconic. So this is gonna be the buff version of Shido. The last version, is him in the shadow form, whatnot. But this is shadow form too. Y'all get what I'm saying. This is the buff dude, right? He's gonna be the Zangief of the game. We made Samire a grappler in the last video. He's gonna be the grappler of the game. Okay, slow walk speed, strong damage, strong grabs, likes projectiles, just suplexing people, breaking people, just walking around, just doesn't care. I don't want to play against this guy. I don't. 3 out of 5 average difficulty. Nijima, I had a lot of thoughts on how she should play in a fighting game, but this is what I came up with. So she's a rushdown slash all around character, but she's more so a rushdown. Like, you want to play rushdown with this character. And at first, when I was, making this list, and I was brainstorming, I was like, Nijima must have like a gambling mechanic where she rolls odd, something happens, or if she rolls even, something happens, like an RNG character. But the more I was thinking about it, I was like, well, in her palace and in the boss battle, she wasn't really gambling. She's more so like rigging the game. She was rigging the game the entire time. She's not really gambling per se. But, she does have a gambling mechanic. When she rolls her dice to increase her damage, it does take some of her HP away. So she's still taking like a risk, a gamble per se, but not what I was thinking of at first. And she does have an okay projectile. She can throw her dice. It's not going to be, I don't think it should be game changing, but I think I should note that she has one. And she's going to be 3 out of 5 average difficulty. Nijima, she's a pretty popular character, so I don't think she should be too hard. On to one of my favorite Persona characters of all time, Mr. Maruki. He's going to be a zoner. I think that should be self-explanatory. Mr. Maruki, he wasn't necessarily like a confrontational person, so being a zoner should be playing into his character. Long-reaching moves. And I haven't really touched on anyone's Persona from this fighting game that I'm coming up with a concept with, but I think Mr. Maruki's Persona should be a part of his character. He's not necessarily hitting you. He has his Persona doing it for him. He also should have a passive buff, you would say. He can gain meter faster than the rest of the cast. It should have a catch to it, but I'm not really thinking that in depth. Just because in the game, he helped you get your SP and whatnot, so I think it should play into his fighting game character. Methodical playstyle. This guy's wants to play very slow and technical, very slow-paced character. Slow recovery on certain moves. They're gonna have long range, so to counter them, they have slow recovery. 2 out of 5 hard to play character. He's also gonna be in the slower end of movement speed and mobility, but not as slow as the other zoners. Now, Sophia, I think Sophia is a no-brainer to make any Persona 5 fighting game ever to come out. But I just have a funny feeling that if they ever made a Persona 5 fighting game, Sophia would be DLC, unfortunately. I think she should be base roster, but we're in the 2020s, and every character is DLC potential. Ryu might be DLC in Street Fighter 7. We don't know. Everyone's is DLC. So, but anyways, Sophia, she's going to be a rushdown. A very quick character, an okay projectile. She's a loved character. I think she should be pretty fun. And, have a tool for everything, but she shouldn't be too strong. And of course, she's good range with yo-yos. She does have yo-yos, so the first thing that came to my mind when making this game and brainstorming how Sophia should play, I'm thinking Bridget, right? Everyone loves Bridget. Everyone loves Sophia. Just make her the Sophia, make her the Bridget of this game. But that's too easy of a comparison. They're just like right in the sand. So I thought to mix Sophia up with like another hybrid. They get paired with Bridget. And what came to my mind is, if you're familiar with Under Night and Birth, if you're familiar with Melty Blood, Eltnum. That's what it came to my mind. I think Sophia should be a Eltnum slash Bridge hybrid. Eltnum doesn't have a yo-yo at all, but he does use like her string, like pull her opponent to her, or like have some range on her buttons. So Sophia is gonna be a Eltnum slash Bridget hybrid. Great mix-ups, just like both of those characters. 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, I should say. Average difficulty, pretty easy, but she's not gonna be on the 4. Like she's getting to the 4, but she's 3.5. She's close to the 4 though. She's close to being easy to play. So yeah, Sophia, no brainer. Might be DLC. Who knows? Fun character. Now, if you've seen last video, Zenkichi, he's the exact opposite of Yusuke, right? Yusuke, he's the quick swordsman, the agile one, doesn't do that much damage. Zenkichi, he's a slow swordsman, but he's gonna be doing more damage than Yusuke. Siegfried is a good comparison at those Zenkichi. Siegfried, he's not quick, but he's pretty strong. If you get hit, it feels like you got hit. The HP can take from you is crazy. So, Zenkichi, he's gonna be the Siegfried of the game. Charge moves gives him armor. You can't interrupt it if he holds it for long. You have to hold it, you have to block it, or you have to jump over. You have to interrupt it before he gets armor on it. Good damage, floor projectile, just like Siegfried, just a little slower, a little slow. He's not slow as the zoners like Kaneshiro, Maruki. Not those characters. He's not as slow as them, but he's not gonna be as quick as Joker or Yusuke flying across the screen. 3.5 out of 5. Okay, now Alice, she's gonna be a rushdown as well, and she's gonna have great mobility. I think she should be able to move pretty quickly and pretty agilely. Is that a word, agilely? But she should be pretty fast. And I hate to give you guys another Mortal Kombat reference. I don't know how this is happening, but she's gonna have a spin move like Melina. She did that a lot in her boss battle, so I think she should have one in the air. She has one on the ground. She should have that be a part of her combos and her overall game plan. 3 out of 5, not too hard. This character is pretty straightforward. And I think you need a lot of straightforward characters when you have shadow puppet characters and stance characters walking around in this game. You need characters like Alice to build out for the casuals, right? So pretty straightforward. Alice, there you go. First villain for Strikers to make it to the game. Let's see if she's the last. Now Ango, I really want to say I really love his shadow character design. Like, look at him. It looks pretty cool. Anyways, Ango, he's going to be a rushdown character. Flight is going to be part of his move list. He can move down, he can move up, he can fly, do flying things. Do what dragons do. You don't want to do it too often, especially in certain matchups like Kamoshida. He's just going to lob volleyballs at you, keep you out the air. Very aggressive character. Fireballs, literally. He's going to have fireballs. He can deal with certain zoners. He's gonna have a fireball of his own. I think that's one way to counter, just so he's not just trying to fly in and just get anti-aired every time. So yeah, 3 out of 5, average difficulty, pretty straightforward rush down, just like Alice. So Akane, this was a very unique character to me, at least, because at first they weren't gonna make the video. Then I was thinking, well, they should be a puppet character, obviously. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, that spot's already filled out with Mr. Akumura and Kaneshiro, technically. And, once you start to get to like more than one puppet character in the game, they start to play very similarly. But I was like, maybe she should play like Favorite Tor. Not like exactly like that, because she's not going to be right on Shadow Joker's back. But, they like kind of comboed off of each other. But then I was thinking more so lore accurately. She didn't really do any moves during the boss battle. She kind of just stood there and talked while Shadow Joker did all the work. So she should play like Batman, Batman's sister. She just stands there while Batman's doing all the work. That's how Akane with Shadow Joker will work in my eyes. You're probably thinking, well, Shadow Joker, he's probably just going to play like Joker. No. I know in Strikers, Shadow Joker was just the spitting image of Joker. He did the exact same stuff that Joker did. Well, in this game, Shadow Joker, we're going to explore his personality a little bit more, right? So Shadow Joker, he's going to be using a little bit more evil tactics. He's going to be using darker moves. They're going to look, more violent, more aggressive than the regular Joker on the roster. So yeah, Joker, he's going to be quick just like Joker, but his moves are going to be completely different character, not copy and paste. Please don't do it. So yeah, 3 out of 5 average difficulty. Next we have Akira. He's gonna be a footsie heavy character. He's also gonna have a beam projectile, but it's gonna have a strong startup time. So you should be able to, see it coming and block it or whatever. But it's gonna be full screen. You're gonna have to block it if you don't interact with it before he starts it up. Long blade, long space control. And I think a good comparison to his character is gonna be Vera from Grand Blue versus Rising. Pretty good characters all around. So yeah, 4 out of 5. Pretty easy to play. I think his character design is pretty cool. So he'd be that has something to do with his character archetype. But I just thought I should say that. Now, Arena, this is an interesting character. She would 100% be DLC. But she's going to be a dual wielder, mid-range slash rush down character. She has her pistol in one hand. She has a spear in the other hand. This character would be pretty fun. I think she should have a buff that she can put on the field for herself. She places the flag. If she's fighting near the flag, it gives her increased damage. That should play into her character a little bit. She has recovery in certain strings. Of course, she has a spear. It's going to have some range to it. So, it's going to have some more recovery on her moves. 4 out of 5. Very easy to play character. She has an answer for every situation. Straightforward. Now, on to our other Persona 5 Tactica character. We have Marie. She's going to be a zoner. She can levitate, throw air projectiles. And, of course, she should have some type of set play where her flowers on the floor. If you walk on them, you trip or something like that. I don't know. She should have the flowers into her gimmick. She should have the flowers into her playstyle in some fashion. You can just leave them anywhere she wants to. I don't think she's going to be as straightforward as An or Kaneshiro or Maruki. As the other zoners, she's going to be a little bit more complex. So with that being said, she's going to be 2.5 out of 5. Kind of average. She's kind of teetering between that difficult to play and average difficulty. She's kind of in the middle of that. So she's 2 out of 5. Well, we made it to the end of the video. Definitely let me know if you guys agree with certain characters, or if there's characters that you would have put in the game that I didn't. And also let me know if you guys have any other video ideas, if I should continue making constant videos like this for the other Persona games, or if there's any other videos you guys think I should make, let me know. And once again, thank you so much for watching the video. Try to make it as short as possible. So I apologize if it's a little long. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Peace.